First of all, I'm Clarence Penn. I'm the jazz faculty. I teach jazz drum set, and Max has been studying with me for the last 2 years, I think it is. A couple of years ago, I got an email from somebody named Max, who I didn't know, and he was interested in studying with me. My roster was pretty full. I said, well, we can meet. Let's talk and let's see if you even like me, like the way I teach. He came to my office, and we talked. And I said, Max, if we do this, you have to work really hard. You have to be dedicated. He's like, I'm gonna do it. But students, they say that all the time. This guy completely surprised me. I have great students, but this guy practiced his behind off, right? Like, I like my students to send me videos of them practicing. This guy sent the most videos. If I gave him a book, he went home and read that book. I gave him 3 books. He just devoured everything that I gave him. And I'm so proud to have this guy do this today, right? In partial fulfillment of his bachelor's degree, let's welcome Max Nguyen.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. It means so much to me to see so many familiar faces. I cannot wait to share this moment with you, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you. Thank you for being such a wonderful audience. I have a short presentation to conclude the night. I wanted to take on a drum solo performance because I knew it would be a challenge, especially because the drum set is usually playing a supporting role in the artistic practices that I partake in. I wanted to explore how I would deepen my relationship with the drum set, and Professor Penn was incredibly essential to the process, actively encouraging the possibilities and pushing me to be more sensitive, aware, and have more intention. So these are some tools and steps that I've used to craft a drum solo performance, and these are some tools and steps that you could use if you were going to craft a solo performance. There are many different ways to come up with orchestrations that are personal to you. Personally, for me, I like writing grooves because they're digestible and they're danceable. Whether it is Ed Blackwell playing the swing rhythm, emphasizing beats 1 and 3, or James Gadson slightly swinging the 16th notes on a hi-hat, or Jay Bellerose playing the crap out of a leg shaker. All of these drummers add a different timbre to the music and elevate the music. And my groove writing is a product of the drummers that I love that have a distinct way of playing grooves. So I'm going to present a figure, and in examples A, B, and C, I have a figure that is on beat 3 and goes into beat 4. And so I'll play that right now. So one thing we can do is find a melody and build a melody around a figure. So I decide to place a melody on the cymbals, and I'm going to build it around that figure, and that figure is going to serve as a backbeat. So this is what it sounds like. The cymbal melody sounds like, and this is what it sounds like with the figure. 1, 2, 3, 4. To build a groove is to establish a consistent pattern, something that will remain constant as we develop these orchestrations. So I decide to keep a consistent bass drum pattern, and this is what I have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Final step on building out a groove is to fill in the elements that make this a groove. So it means putting a low end on the downbeats and bringing out the backbeats. So this is what variation A sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. now that we have a finished orchestration, we can further develop that orchestration. And so we're working within a 16th note grid. We can fill in the gaps of the 16th notes and move the cymbal melody around, but still keeping the similar shape that it initially was. So this is what variation B sounds like. 2, 3, 4. To further develop that orchestration, we can introduce different rates. And so in example C, I introduced 16th note triplets, still keeping the same elements of the cymbal melody changing, but still keeping the same direction and the bass drum remaining constant. So this is example C. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I'm going to play all of those together, this is what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now that we've come up with orchestrations, we can find more content within a finished piece of an orchestration. So as you just heard, I played example D. And what I'm going to do with example D is I'm going to isolate the first 7/8 notes from the second measure, and it'll stand alone as its own entity. And this is what you see in example E. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So another way we could find more content within a finished piece of an orchestration is take tiny fragments from our initial orchestrations and combine them together. So what I've done in example F is, I'll go back to example D, is I take beat 4 from measure 2, and I repeat it 3 times, and then I finish on beat 4 with beat 1 on measure 1. So this is what example F sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I was going to create a world and tell a story, I had to visualize and put in writing the world and story that I had intended to create. Storyboarding became a tool that I used to give a detailed framework of how the story would progress, being emotionally concise and in the development of the story, but still leaving room for the flexible decision. To summarize, storyboarding is creating a visual blueprint of a story, creating detailed descriptions and drawings of every scene, almost like a movie script. I sat down with Aspen, my girlfriend, and we identified how every idea emotionally felt, and this gave me a clearer picture of how the story would progress. In the end, content became a servant of the story rather than directing the story based on what the coolest ideas were. In the end, most of the orchestrations had to be cut because they did not find a place in the story. After identifying the emotional feelings of every idea, I considered what would elevate the emotion that I was trying to convey. So I'm going to present a few differences, and each one feels slightly different. So a brush and a small stick. I believe feels inward and intimate, while a pair of sticks feels onward and motion, while the butt end of the stick feels muffled and collapsing, while a pair of mallets feels reverberated and underwater. We can also use space to contribute to emotion. After I've finished playing a movement or a section of the piece, I'll use space to give time for audience to digest the ideas that have just been played. This brings life to both the ideas and the space, and it acknowledges the importance of both. And we can also use space to create tension. For example, if I'm going to play 2 bass drum notes in an 1/8 note grid, I'll present 2 examples. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it feels slightly different. Emotion is not only sonic, but emotion can also be shown physically. After I finished a piece or a section of the piece, I'll show that my face is energetically present in the moment with the drums. This acknowledges the relationship between the eyes of the audience, myself, the drums, and the moment. If I took my body out of the energy field for even a brief second, I would be dismissing the life of the moment. Some final thoughts to close. I'm incredibly grateful for the lessons I've learned and will continue to learn in future pursuit of nurturing the sonic palette. I've learned to appreciate the relationship between sound, space, and an audience, acknowledging that every factor is equally important to the music making. It's about becoming a master of the moment and sounding like everything. I've also learned to appreciate the drum set as a living entity, realizing that every drum tells me how it wants to be played, and we must form a personal symbiotic relationship with each drum. This also applies to the techniques we use, the sticks we use, or even the drum set as a pieced entity. The importance is never in the notes, but about harnessing the energy needed that we draw from and we put into the entity. This pursuit of performing solo has allowed me to be okay with the predictable, unpredictable, the shortcomings, and the expectation. By being present in the moment as much as possible, and by giving as much as possible, I've learned that there's always something new to discover, especially when least expected. This pursuit of world creation, storytelling, honesty, growth, and world creation through the lens of a drum solo performance has given me a lifelong practice in music and in life. Before I conclude, I would like to spend a couple minutes to give some thanks. Thank you to all the teachers that have shared their time, lessons, and engagement with me throughout my time with the drum set. Thank you to all the friends that have been made, sharing growth, laughter, and experiences with me throughout my time being in the city. Thank you to the heroes from the ground, from below, and from above that that inspire me to be the best musician and human I can be, sharing space and time with high company. I would like to thank some especially important people in my life that are dear to me. Thank you, Professor Penn, for nurturing what I've been doing, giving yourself and guiding me, showing me all the possibilities, helping at 1,000% without expecting anything in return, for enhancing the spirit of my being in the music, for being an infectious wellspring of knowledge and ideas, and for showing me how to be more considerate and sensitive. I seriously would not be who I am as a musician and person without you, and I am inspired by your example every single day. Thank you, Aspen, for showing me the beauty in the little things, for showing me that life doesn't need to be so hard all the time, and how vivid of a poet that the world is. You're one of the sweetest souls I've ever encountered, and I'm so lucky to share so many moments with you. You balance my intensity, and you encourage vulnerability, and you commit to moving together as a high energy unit. There are a few people that couldn't make it here, but I must thank because it must belong in the air. Thank you to Shogo Yamagishi for being my spirit sibling, for always pushing each other at the highest intensity as we played our first notes of creative music together, many in between, and still awaiting more. Shogo has shown me the importance of community, and Shogo is a man of the people. I want to thank my sister Jamie for being the best sister ever. She's one of the most considerate and thoughtful people I've known in my whole life, and she's one of the strongest people I've known my whole life. Lastly, I want to thank my parents, grandparents, and ancestors for navigating this world full of struggle, for paving the way for their children and grandchildren to live the most fulfilling lives, for all the work that had to be done that allowed me the opportunity to participate in artistic expression, for giving me a story to tell of family history, culture, upbringing, and values, one the world, I believe, is not yet ready to see. Thank you, Mom, for raising me with the biggest heart. You've taught me to be kind, thoughtful, intuitive, understanding, selfless, and strong. Thank you, Dad, for raising me with care, involvement, and 10,000% effort. You've taught me to be diligent, persistent, strong-minded, hardworking, and honorable. I would not be here today without people in my life, and I am eternally grateful. Thank you so much for being here with me this evening. I love you all. Have a wonderful evening.